Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of
The Macam and the Mank.
Katie,
Yes.
guess what?
What?
Earthbound.
Earthbound.
My favourite episode of this.
So that's what this episode is called.
So seeing as we've done 4 episodes now, I thought it'd be a good idea to have a summary of what we've been up to remind people about the premise of this podcast. In case you think there's 2 strange northerners just blabbing on about some ancient TV program. So would you like to remind the audience of what the whole point of this is?
So let me see if I've got this right still. So there's a moon base where toxic nuclear waste is dumped. There was an explosion which meant that the moon got propelled away from the Earth and they couldn't sort of propel the moon back to the Earth, so they're floating in space and they're adrift. They've gone through a black hole, and so now they're at the other side of the black hole. They're adrift from the Earth on the moon with the nuclear waste. Everyone's a little bit shit at what they're supposed to do. All of the boss people, Commander Kudo or whatever he's called, I never remember his name. He's really quite rubbish at doing everything.
I think we've got the gist.
Right.
Yeah, I got the gist, yeah. And what's our role in all of this?
Me and you?
Yeah.
So I've never seen it before, and you have seen it many times.
And you're the Macam, and I'm the Mank.
Yes, I'm from Sunderland, and Colin, our esteemed 1999 space knowledge expert
I wouldn't go that far. Definitely not.
is from Manchester.
So that's where we are. So a little bit of housekeeping before we crack on.
Yes.
So just a couple of things. First of all, you didn't rate the last episode. You didn't rate episode 4.
Okay.
Which was Ring Around the Moon. So you gave 7 for the first 2, and you gave 5 for Matter of Life and Death, where Helena's husband came back. So I need a rating, because the audience are just absolutely desperate to know what you gave. The eyeball planet.
Yes, I was just going to say Ring Around the Moon was the eyeball planet, and it sort of like red lighted into their heads, didn't it?
Yeah.
So I will give that one a 6.
6. That's a fair rating. That's fine. I completely understand that. So that was the first piece of housekeeping. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Of course.
The next thing is you sent me some homework last time.
I did set you some homework.
So I have answers to your questions.
And?
So IKEA opened in 1943.
Wow.
So they definitely could have got the gear from IKEA.
Yes. Okay.
Although I'm assuming that IKEA in like the UK and the US is a relatively new thing, because I certainly don't remember growing up with IKEA.
Me neither, but do I?
So
I think maybe that during my childhood there might have been an IKEA nearby.
Mm-hmm. So
the same one that we have now here.
All right, okay. The second thing is they were married from 1957 to 1993.
That's a long time.
Although the 80s was a bit dodgy. And they had a daughter they forgot 2 kids. One of the daughters, Juliet, was in Buffy.
I see.
Was Buffy one of your programmes?
If it was on, I would watch it.
Right.
I wasn't a die-hard Buffy fan.
So maybe it's your homework to find out what role she played and if you remember her and stuff like that. She's been in loads of other things as well, but it was the only thing I could see on IMDb that you might know. So there we are. So that's,
I really want to know who she plays.
Yes,
now.
Exactly. So you have to find
because
out.
I do know a lot of the characters. Because as I say, I would have watched it if it was on.
Mm-hmm. It was a decent character as well. It wasn't just like a 1-episode job. So
I wonder. Anyway, I have me wonderings about that.
Yes. So as I've said about 400 times, and I'll say it once more, this is one of my favourite episodes. This Earthbound. In fact, it is my favourite episode. And it's the first Colossal Guest Star episode, if you remember. Colossal Guest Star. 99 has colossal guest stars in it.
Right, I see.
And literally and metaphorically.
Oh.
And the guest star in this episode ticks both boxes. And there's also a reappearance of another character who's very entertaining in this as well. So this, I'm hoping you're going to love. Let's go for it. Earthbound. So then we've got the moon.
Yeah. We've
So
got
it's
the
nice to
moon.
get the moon.
And I think we've got what should be the Milky Way.
Simmonds is back. Hi, Simmonds. So Simmonds has got a right cob on here. He's really pissed off. So they've had dead husbands. They've gone through a black hole, and he's basically bollocking them, saying you should have gone back to Earth by now.
Well, how could they have gone back to Earth by now?
Yeah.
Has he found a way?
No. That's his role in the program, is to bollock everybody else whilst he does absolutely sod all.
Right. That's the impression I have of him so far.
Yeah. So he's basically saying we should have been back to Earth, and he's having a right pop at everybody.
Yeah, and they're in like a conference room, the main characters.
Yes. So we haven't seen Simmonds for a while, which is a shame. But it also explains a lot, because he hasn't been there when they were in the black hole. He wasn't there when there was, alien brain eyeball things happening.
But he's on the ship with them.
Yeah, the moon base.
The moon base, yeah.
So this is him having a right pop. So, of course, John's really pissed off.
John.
Yeah, Koenig's really annoyed about it.
Koenig.
Yeah. So, here we go. Sandra's got news.
There's something approaching the moon base.
Yes.
So they've all ran into command centre.
Oh, I know all about the sleeves now. Should we do the sleeves at the end of this episode?
Yeah,
you'll enjoy that.
Okay.
Yes. Come on, Alan. Oh, they're not. Why do you always think the worst?
Well, it's usually the worst, isn't it? Did you ever see one of these shows where it wasn't the worst?
Yes.
Did you?
Yes.
That spaceship is blue.
It's a cool spaceship, this. It's such a good spaceship. Oh, computer car news off.
Helena moved ahead.
No, she didn't.
She did.
It was a lie.
It wasn't.
Nope. Unidentified power. You need a computer for that, to tell you that this fucking spaceship is an unidentified powered object.
Apparently they do.
Oh, manned.
Object manned.
Not womaned.
No.
Manned.
Or personed.
Yeah.
It's manned.
Yeah. Paul's shaking his head now. His moustache is too bushy this episode.
That moustache will sway when he shakes his head.
Yeah. Still the computer with no buttons. They love the computers with no buttons, don't they?
They've got buttons. They've got no labels on the buttons.
You know what I mean? Yeah, they
do.
got no writing. How can they do QWERTY? QWERTY you up. Yeah?
Were you just going to say Abercur?
Yeah. yeah. Like a 4-year-old.
Yeah.
Kicking Kurt and Curly Kurt.
Even the children are like the lowest one's 9 now.
So they sent 2 eagles out to go and intercept the spaceship, the blue spaceship.
How many of these eagles have they got?
Well, I did look into that as well. And the answer is, officially 28.
Oh, they've used 28 already.
Well, yeah, exactly. Somebody cut it down. They lost at least 25 in this.
And there's 2 series.
Yeah.
Do we say series or season of this?
Season. Well, let's have a season.
It's
very American.
It is
isn't
very American.
Yeah. So here we are now. That's it. So I'm going to see if you can guess the guest star in the flashy credit sequence. So you ready?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, here's your little task.
I'm watching. Him? With the long hair?
I'm not going to give it away.
Oh, he looks like a vampire.
Oh, you're so close.
Am
You are
I?
so close. Katie, you're nearly there.
Well, is it Christopher Lee?
Congratulations. You win the special prize. You win a hot date with John Koenig.
Well, he's always a vampire, isn't he?
Yes. Congratulations. Yes, so Christopher Lee is the guest star in this episode.
Right.
So when you said he looks like a vampire...
That was spot on.
Yes, it was. Yes. So yeah, he's just so good in this episode. So here's our flying blue.
Oh, it says
spaceship.
there, special guest star Christopher Lee.
Yeah. No, Rudy's still doing the costumes. So it's a cracking little design of a spaceship, this.
Yeah, it's sort of like a blue parachute shape with 3 legs.
Mm-hmm. So they're just following it home. They're not going to do anything. They're just sort of
They're
making sure
almost
it's
like
okay.
an escort, aren't they?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
There's Alan.
Oh, nothing's gonna happen.
Oh.
It's very E.T. this
It looks a
spaceship.
bit like a spinning top, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look, it's quite cute.
It's beautiful, isn't it? It's such a nice design, this. The designs of the spaceships on this are just
and
brilliant.
It's landed on the moon.
In some of the editions, you can see the strings as well.
Oh, well, that's all right, though, isn't it? We don't mind strings.
Yeah. So, I've only got one question.
Yeah.
Does it look like a bong?
A bong?
Does the spaceship look like a blue bong?
I'm going to say no.
Okay. All right.
Do you think it looks like a blue bong?
Absolutely. Yes.
I imagine bongs to have more
They're
of
a bit longer.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So Simmonds has already got his back up. He doesn't even know what's going on here.
He's so grumpy.
He is. And all the cast were ignoring him then. They were like deliberately put their heads down when he started. Yeah. Can't do with your shit. Go and get a haircut. Go get a haircut, beardy. Yeah. So there's some cracking props in this next scene.
Right.
It's a really good. See, you can tell I like this episode because actually, no, the last episode I had not got a fucking clue what was going on.
But
Whereas this one, you can turn it off and I can just I can do a complete audio description.
Maybe we should try that and then watch it.
Yeah, maybe, but then you wouldn't get it. You would just have me miming.
Yeah.
That'd be no good. So we're all in gear, and they're gonna intercept or not intercept. Go and find where the ship's landed.
By gear, we mean everyone's in their sort of astronaut space suits, which are orange, by the way.
And it's really handy that it landed near to the moon base, isn't it?
It landed right next to them.
The moon's a pretty big object.
Yeah, but it landed right beside them.
Did you know there's no such thing as the dark side of the moon? It's not dark. It's only dark to us. So the light actually gets to the other side of the moon.
Right.
So it's not dark. If you were on the dark side of the moon, it'd be like...
You say the most complicated things.
Anyway.
Pink Floyd would disagree.
Yeah, exactly. It's dark to us, but it's not dark to them. So here's the spaceship going next to the space bomb, or spinning top, or whatever you want to call it.
It does look like a spinning top.
Yeah.
With a bulbous top.
Bulbous. Is that our reference for the episode? Is it bulbous?
Bulbous, yeah. So the Eagle spaceships have reached out some sort of... Oh, you know when you're at the
docking.
airport and you go
docking.
through the docking corridor, yeah.
I love it how they just leave them. What happens if it's like all these monsters come out of the spaceship? You're on your own.
They've got no weapons or anything.
Mind you, would you be in a hurry to get back to Simmonds?
Well, the mood he's in.
Who's like next in command?
Yeah.
I'd rather be there, thank you very much.
Oh, what's going to happen?
So they've got the stun guns ready, because obviously trust everybody. Uh-huh.
They're trying to get the door to the blue bong ship open.
Are you ready for this? So, describe what Victor's using now.
Binoculars that have a long tube attached to the bits that you look through, and then he's pressing buttons that make a clicking noise, and the tube's beside the door.
Are you ready for this? It's a hairdryer combined with a heater out of an aquarium. It's a brawn hairdryer.
Is it really?
Yeah. I told you they used all sorts of stuff.
That's great.
So that sort of like atmosphere material proby type thing.
Yeah.
It's a hairdryer. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So you got to spot the common elements in 99. There's loads of like stuff like that. If you Catacombs, you see. Catacombs it actually tells you the exact make and model of hairdryer as well.
It is so square. You can tell it's like old.
Well, Helena uses a hand blender in another scene.
Oh, does she?
Yeah, but not to make a souffle.
Right.
No, it's to do something really cool.
Are they putting a bomb on the door?
No, well, something like that.
Oh, they've opened the door to the spaceship.
Yeah. Bit of cellophane now. Because of course every spaceship has cellophane walls, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah. You've got to keep it all sort of. Oh my god! Why are they walking like that? They're walking like they've I don't know, shat themselves.
I think they're trying to do the whole moon bounce, aren't they?
Oh, there's no gravity.
Yeah.
But there was before.
Yeah.
Gravity doesn't work like that.
Well, it obviously does on this spin. Oh, there's a few people on this ship.
Yeah, so describe the ship, Katie.
The ship is round, and there
What's inside it?
There is a circle of what appear to be incubator type things, and there is a person lying in each one. They all have different coloured robes on, green, orange.
And they're still doing that stupid walk, aren't they?
They are. Still
Nobody would
doing the
care.
walk.
If they just walked normal, nobody would care, would they?
No,
Yeah.
I don't think people would even consider it
And the sort of
thing.
the clear plastic, the clear coloured plastic is a thing. It's in loads of 99 episodes, and they obviously thought this was like the future. In the future, we would decorate our houses with clear plastic.
I wonder why they thought that.
I've got no idea. Drugs.
Drugs.
Who
Well, it
knows?
was the 70s.
Yes. So Helena's looking back. Actually, Helena suits a spacesuit, doesn't she? She looks very natty, doesn't she?
She looks orange.
Mm.
She's very orange.
Well, orange. We discussed orange before.
It's a
haven't
big
we?
theme through this show, isn't it? The
Yeah.
colour orange.
So they found all these space capsules, coffins, incubators, because obviously they're laying eggs, aren't they? So,
Incubators, yeah.
And so they don't know what to do. So they're going to get some gravity off Paul. Paul's moustache is going to supply the gravity.
That's quite an intelligent moustache.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And some reason, because an oscilloscope has changed, we've got gravity.
Right.
So it's that easy. That's how you produce gravity, apparently. On a space bong.
So they
Oh, here's Simmonds.
they can't possibly put all of the people in the space spinning top into their little eagle.
Oh, here's Simmonds being a twat again. Here he goes. Why haven't we killed everybody? Why don't we know this, that, and the other?
You can't just go around killing people.
Oh, I had an ECG the other day. It wasn't as fancy as that.
No?
It took them 3 goes. They couldn't even get it working.
Uh.
Whereas Helen just goes up with a space box and straight away. No, she's not even got contact with skin.
And it's working?
Mm-hmm. So, they have a bit of a problem because they're all in space boxes and they don't know how to open the space boxes.
I mean, why do they need to? Can they not just leave well enough alone?
Well, you'd want to know, wouldn't you? If it was you. You wouldn't just say, well, they're very pretty and go home, would you?
Well, I don't know if I'd go opening them up. I mean, people might get cross.
Well, imagine Simmonds' face if he just went home now.
That would be a picture, wouldn't
He'd be
it?
furious, wouldn't it?
So what are these vials
We
in the
got
middle?
no idea.
There's something in the middle of all of the incubators that looks like it has different flavoured shots on it, and they're obviously some sort of
There's the hand blender.
yeah, they're obviously some sort of elixir or tonic.
So what's happened there?
Helen has tried to drill into one of them.
Yeah.
And now there's lots of smoke inside of the incubator.
So you know how your big thing over the last few episodes has been how everybody fucks things up?
Yes.
Well, she's fucked it up.
Yes, she has.
Yeah.
Yes, she has.
So there we go. Tick.
Giant, massive tick in the box.
This.
Ah,
So what? So basically, it's cremated. So by drilling a tiny hole,
he's turned to dust.
I think it was a she actually. The space alien has been turned into dust, into ashes. Let's be precise about it.
So
Yes.
she's a murderess now.
Yes. So she's murdered one of these space aliens.
Oh no, it's gonna be Christopher Lee's girlfriend or something, isn't it? She's gonna be mad.
Christopher Lee being mad. Never.
Imagine.
Never.
Oh, he's awake. He's
So you've got.
Oh,
So let's try and work out. So he played Dracula. He played Frankenstein. He played Count Dooku. He played Lord Somerville. He played him from Lord of the Rings.
Saruman.
That's it, yeah. So he has a track record of playing really evil characters, doesn't he?
Was Frankenstein's monster really evil?
It's you know what I'm getting at, though,
I
don't
do.
you? Yes. So yeah, so they've all woken up now, haven't they?
They're all woken up. They're all standing up.
The way to wake everybody up is to kill one of them.
They've all got long robes on. They've all got long blonde hair and fancy makeup.
They're very tall as well, aren't
Awfully
they?
tall.
Yes. There's another reason why Christopher Lee got the gig, isn't it?
Well, he is very, very
He
tall.
is, isn't he? Just so he's looking at his dead woman
Comrade.
thing. Yes. So he's going to murder him on the spot. That would have been good, wouldn't it? You know, if it had gone, oi, who did this?
Yeah,
Oh, there's a sting.
he looks cross.
Oh no. Helena moved ahead then.
She did.
Yeah, in complete like guilt.
Like, oh no, it
I
was
didn't
me.
mean to murder your friend with a hand blender.
But she did.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, they're picking up the ashes now. Oh, Chris is picking his next words here. It's a great wig, isn't it? Go on. Convinced?
So they're saying they thought they were dead,
Yes.
which is why they tried to drill into the box.
Mm-hmm. Oh. So Christopher Lee's getting some of the other friends.
He's communicating by hand gesture. He's not saying anything. And they're all walking around very solemnly, a bit like sort of monks might walk around.
I don't think there's enough ash there. Because these are at least 6'6". And that's a very small pile of ash.
Also, it looks like compost.
Yeah, I don't think they got the proportions quite right there. So, what's he going to do?
I do like his robe. It's sort of multicoloured, tie-dye-ish.
So he's gesturing to Helena now.
She's taking his hand, because you would.
Of course I would, yeah. You just murdered his friend. Yeah, of course you would. Kumbaya, my lord, kumbaya. Oh. Put her out of misery, Chris.
So
Come on.
They're all stood around the dead spaceman.
They're doing some sort of weird hand gesture.
It's almost like a ritual.
Victor
maybe.
doesn't know what to do. Oh, here's Simmonds now. Oh,
he
dear
definitely
me.
reminds me of a BG.
Yeah. But the Bee Gees were lovely.
I'm saying in appearance.
All right, okay. And the Bee Gees were never on the moon.
How do you know?
I know the Bee Gees never on the moon.
I know you've got those books, but you
I
don't
know as much about the Bee Gees as I do about Space 1999, and they were definitely not on the moon.
Maybe they weren't on the moon at this. Oh, they're taking off.
Oh, the space bomb's on its way.
Oh no, the spinning top's spinning. It's taking off.
What are they going to do with the cargo crafty bits?
Well, I don't know. You've seen this before.
Oh, maybe they've got that many of them as well.
Okay, so
It's a great ship, that, isn't it? It's such a good design.
it's moving closer to the moon base.
Good old Martin.
Oh! What's it doing? Is it landing or?
Simmonds would make a great traffic warden.
It's landing. It's traffic warden.
Yeah, he'd be brilliant as a traffic warden.
I think he'd be good as a grumpy train conductor.
Oh yeah. Tickets, please.
Yeah.
He'd literally throw them off on moving, wouldn't he? Yeah, he wouldn't care.
Yeah. Off.
This is an advanced off peak, and you've got a standard off peak.
Yeah.
You know, off you go. Throw the kids out the window. He'd be terrible, wouldn't he?
Oh, there's a big cluster of people waiting to meet the newcomers.
Yes.
Who do look very hippie, don't they?
Well, they didn't kill Helena, did they?
No.
So Simmonds is desperate for an introduction here. He wants to be introduced like he's the king or the queen.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Your status, please. I represent Earth Authority here on Moonbase Alpha, and in that capacity, may I say, welcome.
That was sincere.
That was the coldest welcome anybody's ever done. That, wasn't it? It's like Christopher Lee's brought all of his mother-in-laws with him or something like that.
So yes. Simmonds is welcoming the spacemen.
And what he's saying that he's very sorry for the fuck up. And whoever fucked up will get like reprimanded for it, even though he wasn't there and hasn't got a clue. And Christopher Lee's been lovely.
He is being okay so far.
He's saying these things happen. You know, people get killed in space boxes all the time. And
maybe they do.
Shrug the shoulders, whatever's, yeah.
He definitely looks like he belongs on some sort of hippie convent.
See, if this was proper Christopher Lee, he'd have bit his neck or killed him with the Force or something like that.
Oh, well, he always puts on a facade of goodness at first, doesn't he?
He was very charming the way he murdered people, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, so Simmonds is already plotting here now. Oh, they've got love eggs. What are they doing with love eggs?
What are they? So they have got...
Easter's been and gone, so it's nothing to do with that.
So they've got rose gold metal eggs.
Stick one of these where the sun doesn't shine, you know.
They look a bit big for that.
Yeah, but they're very tall, aren't they? So,
They are
you know.
tall.
So, is it some sort of gift? I don't know.
It
Oh, that's
looks
very
to be
kind
a
of them.
gift.
Victor really doesn't know where to put himself. He's not very good at the social graces, is Victor.
No.
Yeah. Simmonds got an egg.
Well, he should be happy, shouldn't he?
Nah, nothing will make Simmonds happy.
No.
No, maybe he should put it where the sun doesn't shine. Maybe that's what he needs. So basically, this is plot exposition time. So he's explaining that they're on the way to the moon,
Right.
because they want to go to Earth. So he's saying that half of their planet died or something like that, and that various sort of factions went in their spaceships and went looking for somewhere else to live, and the 6 of them picked Earth.
Right.
So they were going to land on the moon so as not to scare anybody, and then work out their next steps.
Okay.
So they found the moon, but there was a bit of a
it's not
problem.
next to the Earth.
Yes, hence Earthbound.
Earthbound, I see.
Yeah. There you go. Technobabble time.
He's got some very good,
Makeup.
yeah.
Mhm.
So he has a stripe from the middle of his forehead down to almost the end of his nose, and then some fabulous eyeshadow.
So Simmonds is already sort of like trying to work out how he can abuse the situation.
To his own advantage.
Yeah, so he says, "Do you know where Earth is?" And of course, Christopher Lee knows where Earth is. Yeah,
Obviously.
yeah. No, what a
So
twat.
he's having digs at
Yeah.
Commander Kudo.
Koenig.
Koenig.
Shall I get a sticker and put it on the computer every time we watch this? Koenig. Koenig. Yes. Mm-hmm. No, did you hear that? So what he's basically saying that, can you help us repair our ship? If you can't help us repair our ship, we'll just all commit suicide.
Oh.
Because this is the end of our mission.
Well, that's a little bit defeatist, isn't it?
It's very, I don't know, Buddhist or something. I'm trying to think. It's over there somewhere,
Does
isn't
the
it? Very
Bud-
Eastern.
The
You know.
Buddhas threaten to commit
Well,
suicide?
it's just the fact that they're just sort of going, oh, well, never mind, you know, shit happens.
Well, Simmonds is playing with his egg. And they've opened the door again now, so the whole command room is there. And obviously everybody's stood looking at the door, waiting to know what's been going on.
Yes.
Oh, there's that Audrey girl.
Tanya.
Tanya.
Audrey. And they're all very lovely, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
You know. Oh, John loves his love egg. Look at him.
You're obsessed with love eggs.
I'm obsessed with their love eggs.
They're love eggs.
Yes. Simmonds is practically shaving his beard with it.
Yeah, they probably don't want love eggs in their mouth.
Mm-hmm. Oh dear. So Simmonds is plotting now. So basically he's saying that they should commandeer the ship and see if they can work out how they're going to get to Earth and if they can hijack it and all these other things.
Well, that's pretty nasty.
He's horrible, isn't he?
Isn't he?
Yeah.
We don't like him.
No. Maybe he's
Or he's Buffon.
maybe that's why he's the only hairdresser he'll use. Maybe he's one of them.
Yeah.
I have to have one special hairdresser and I'm overdue a trim. Oh, there you go. Expendable.
I think he's overdue a lot of things.
I wouldn't pick a fight with Christopher Lee.
No, neither would I.
wouldn't, if he was still alive, I wouldn't pick a fight with Christopher Lee.
No.
Never mind Christopher Lee from 50 years ago. So Helen is going to scan his brain, and he's explaining the use of suspended animation.
What does she hope to achieve by scanning his brain, do you suppose?
Well, I can tell you exactly.
Let me hear.
No, I can tell you, because he's already explained it.
Right.
So what they're going to do is to see if they're biologically compatible, which is probably a sexy term for would you like to fuck. But what he really means is that can their sleepy technology, the technology that makes them go to bed and go to sleep for 100 years, is it compatible with humans?
So the suspended animation.
Yeah, so that's what he's explaining. And she's asking, why don't you just freeze them? And he's saying that nobody likes frozen food.
So cryogenics is off the table.
Yeah. So that's what. Oh, computer deli counter printout.
I know these printouts, man.
It's a fast computer, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a girl. No, that's a different type of test,
She's-
isn't it? There you go. So there is a match.
She smiled.
She did.
It
So
was minor, but
the other thing I've realised with watching these 4 episodes, and then this one is the same, is that Helena gets a right kicking. I never realised it watching it first time around, or second time or third time.
yeah.
She gets an absolute, she has a moment in this one as well. She's just it's dead husbands and planets blowing up, and the whole computer thing in the last one where she was going all she gets, and John just sits in his private command bunker just shouting at people and doing crap speeches.
And she puts up with the brunt of it.
Yeah.
Well, us women are strong.
Well, I always sort of didn't think much of her character, but as I watch it, I feel more sympathetic towards her.
Yeah.
And I think she's very sort of almost like she's shell-shocked and she's just getting through the day. Because obviously everything that happened with the moon. But, yeah. But anyway, so Christopher Lee's basically saying, yeah, no problem at all. We can get one of you home. Because obviously there's an empty cubicle now because they spit roasted one of the friends, didn't they? Yeah. So basically they're saying that they think it's possible that they can take one home.
But who will they choose?
Who will they choose? Well, they need to make sure it's definitely going to work. So what they need to do is to try out the tech first. There we go, experiment. So they're going to set up the experiment and see if it works or not.
I mean, obviously it's not going to in the end because there's another season and however many.
Well, they're going to take one home anyway.
So they could take one home and they still carry on with the show.
But Simmonds thinks that they could pinch the ship, take the technology, and maybe put it do something with it, so they could take more, put it in one of the Eagles or something, or So that's what Simmonds' point is.
Yeah, but he's a knobhead.
Yeah, so he thinks basically these nice people, you fried one of their friends and they're still being lovely, and he thinks they should get rid of them and pinch the ship and rape all their technology.
It's very unkind.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So yeah, basically, so what Koenig has done, as he's done about 52 times already in this series, is he's leaving the decision of who should go in the ship to the computer.
If they put a lot of trust in this computer, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's because they implicitly trust the computer or because they're abysmal at making decisions?
I think he really has a fear of making the big decisions.
Or any decisions.
Yeah. But he's literally just said to Simmonds there, if I could rig it, I'd send you.
Just because he doesn't like him.
Yes.
He just wants rid.
Mm-hmm. So they're repairing the spaceship now. So this is the hangar where all the Eagles live. So Dr. Matthias has got some sort of knob and some sort of soldering iron, and they're doing a dry run of this sleepy thing.
It does look like a soldering iron.
And they're doing it on Helena. Why they're doing it on Helena, I don't know. Maybe she volunteered or something. It's also insinuated that there's a little bit of a thing going on between Helena and Calidor, which is the Christopher Lee character.
Right.
They get on well. There's just a little bit of
Well, she did. She's the only time I've seen her lips twitch into a smile is talking to him.
Yeah.
Not even her resurrected husband did that.
So John's been all sort of alpha male, and saying, you haven't killed her yet, have you? And obviously, they haven't killed her yet.
No.
So, yeah.
And I'm assuming they don't. The middle bit's a little bit TARDIS-like, the way it's shaped and flashes, or pulses rather than flashes.
Mm-hmm. So John's got his, pretend he bothered face on, because obviously he doesn't want to see her die. Oh, we've finally got what the plexiglass stuff's for now, haven't we?
Oh, the little shot glasses.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's a
smoke ring appearing around her head.
A yellow ring appearing around her head, yeah.
Mm.
That's also pulsing.
Mm-hmm. Come on, Bob Matthias. Yeah, see if it works or not.
So he is doing something with the shots.
Fingering.
Your mind's in the gutter tonight.
He's fingering the shot glasses, yeah. So it's not going very well. It's not going very well for Helena.
Husband
So,
Colin.
as I said, no, but I'm just saying, Helena's had rough episodes.
Yeah.
Well, now they can't get her back.
Is that what was happening? They couldn't get on.
So they can't get her back to reanimation, be alive, whatever the word is.
Awake.
Yes, that's a good word. I like that. Is that the word of the day?
Awake.
Yes.
I'm not very good at it, but that away.
Oh, here's Simmonds again.
See, he's standing there like he just wants to be going, staying alive.
Oh God, that's the
alive.
last thing that John wants, isn't it? Him staying alive. Yeah. So Alan's basically saying to him, make it look like an accident. Whatever you do to Simmonds. Like, then again, they're on a moon base. I mean, who's gonna check up?
Well, it might be frowned upon by the rest of the crew.
Maybe. So they finished the bong shit by the looks of it. They've nearly finished fixing it.
What's happening inside?
Wonder why moon-based technology can fix a bong ship when they're clearly superior in terms of tech and stuff
they clearly
like
are, aren't they?
Maybe they just needed some, I don't know, polystyrene or something.
Or maybe they just needed a wrench.
Maybe they need some zips.
No, there's plenty zips.
Needed some spare zips.
Plenty zips.
Yeah, that's all good.
Commander Cody.
Oh.
Commander, could you please return to the spaceship? We need your advice.
Oh no.
John's been asked to go back to the spaceship where Helena is.
Yeah.
Russell has been put into a deeper sleep than is right for the human metabolism.
So Christopher Lee's going, well, you kill one of mine, I'm going to kill one of yours. 1-1. Dibs, yeah?
Yeah, love all.
Actually, he's not. He's lovely in this. This is what I really like about this episode, is that he's so cast against type.
Mm-hmm.
There's several occasions he could have lost his top. And he's like, you kill one of my friends? Fine. Simmonds, you're a knob? Fine. And all this other stuff. And he's absolutely fine about it.
I feel like he suits that wig. It reminds us of him as Sauron.
Mm-hmm.
Not Sauron, sorry, Saruman.
Well, you know better than I do, because I fell asleep halfway through that. So
I'm not even going to speak to you about that.
Okay. They were talking at work about the extended Mega 4K Blu-ray something or another edition.
That's what we watched.
No, apparently there's another one or something.
No, that's what we watched.
Oh, God. Best night's sleep ever, that was.
You just...
Oh, anyway, Helena's back.
Yay!
Major character was never going to die.
Whoop, whoop.
Christopher Lee's playing with the shot glasses, and there we go. Are we back?
Well, he's twiddling the different coloured plastic tubes.
Mm-hmm. So, question.
Yes.
How can they get somebody as good as Christopher Lee in a program like this?
It was obviously a very niche underground sort of show, and I think that's the kind of thing Christopher Lee liked to do.
No. Money.
They paid him lots.
In the mid-70s, there was basically no British film industry. There was like the odd James Bond film, whatever Kubrick was up to. So this is before things like Star Wars and Alien and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So there wasn't much work going about. So that's why 99 has loads of really good cast in it, because it was that or, be a bin man or something like that. No offense to bin men, but you know what I mean.
He had plenty work in the Hammer industry, though.
No, Hammer was dying. By the 70s, Hammer had basically almost gone.
Right.
Yeah. Hammer had finished. Carry On had finished. There was all, there wasn't much doing.
Christopher Lee wasn't really in the carry-ons, though.
No, I'm just saying the British film industry had sort of petered out at that point. So Helena's back.
She looks completely shocked by something.
Yeah, she says, "Not again! Not another fucking episode. Can I have a tropical island planet episode next one?"
Actually, is she not saying, "Can I just have a gin and tonic"?
She smiled again as well.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
At John.
Can she have where the biggest decision is whether she has the pina colada or a sex on the beach? That's what she wants.
That's a no contest. That you want the pina colada every time.
Again, because she's had all the dead husbands and everything else that's been going on. She's now yeah. Can I have an episode where I don't get killed in a space coffin? And all
That's
these other
fair.
things?
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
You like pina colada.
So.
Getting caught in the rain.
So, can I interrupt you because this is really important?
Yes.
Right.
Ask computer to choose one name.
Computer to choose a name.
It's giving me a list of 3.
Oh,
Well, that's handy.
Classic case of
What is this computer about?
It's got a mind of its own.
It's Simmonds.
So the computer's given 3 names
No, he just wants one.
of who can go to Earth.
Simmonds is very unhappy about this now.
Even if it works, there won't be a picnic.
Picnic? Who's having a picnic?
Keep talking, Granddad. Alan, we're not even sure the Earth still exists.
Actually, that's true.
Why would the Earth not still
Well,
exist?
because if you remember in Breakaway, the crappy TV news show at the end of Breakaway was saying there was earthquakes and there was all tidal waves and all sorts of things, because with the moon not being there anymore, that would then have an effect on the Earth.
I see.
Yeah, so that's why, because there was all this sort of the Earth is actually quite important the moon's quite important to the Earth.
Yeah.
So that's why. So they were worried about that. So it's a good point.
May I ask a question?
Yeah.
So Commander Koenig has just looked at his watch, and it told him lunar time.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are on a moon base, floating in space with no trajectory or point really, what does it matter what time it is? Why would you look at your watch? What difference does it make? Where's he got to be?
No idea. But I think they're on a deadline that they have to leave at a certain point so they can get back to Earth. And if they don't leave, then they'll all commit suicide.
The Christopher Lee people.
Yeah.
I see.
But to answer your questions, you need to know what time it is, don't you?
Well, no.
So Simmonds
Simmonds
has pinched Koenig's comm lock. So I'm assuming that means he has access to a greater level of security.
What a dirtbag.
What an arsehole. But John was too busy being all sort of happy to see Helena.
Because they haven't got a little bit of something going on.
No. So he wants to know from Helena, is it definitely safe after she nearly dies?
Well, her hair's still perfect. So.
Yeah, but she's just died, practically.
He's running off somewhere. Simmonds is running off with... what did you say it was called? Comlock.
Yeah.
Past the IKEA chairs, and he's gone in the space shuttle.
Is that the official name?
Yes.
Right, so they've decided that everything's fine, that they can make preparations to go.
But who's going?
Yeah, computer still hasn't picked yet.
This is the big question.
Yeah, go on, get it told, John. One name, yeah. I mean, ChatGPT would have done this in 3 seconds, so they clearly got this wrong, wouldn't it? It would have picked, the person I pick is Banana.
No, it would have picked Thomas the cat.
No, maybe it would. So, Simmonds is now shooting people.
Oh, no!
And
what a dirtbag!
He's opened the door to the nuclear power station with a gun,
obviously.
So that's safe. That's going to go well, isn't it?
Let's all do that. Let's have explosives in the nuclear power.
And Koenig just happens to have a comlock in his hands, which he thinks is his. So now we know why they've got pictures on them.
Yeah.
It was specifically for this, because he's having a look now and he's going, who's that beardy fuck?
He's realised.
Furious John time. Yes, we know. We knew about 10 minutes ago. Simmonds is having a lot of fun shooting people.
Stop attacking people.
So he's in the nuclear power station bit and he's got a gun.
So that's all going to go well.
Well, he's going to hold the moon base to ransom now.
According to this, Simmonds has proceeded from main mission to the maintenance section. It's just now into the power station.
So they need a piece of paper to tell him where he is.
So... I thought this machine had screens where it could give information. Why does it have to print a ticket out?
Do they not have Find My iPhone on the moon?
Obviously not.
No.
You'd think they would, though, wouldn't you?
So John's on his angry black and white screen here now.
The angry black and white screen, that's really quite blue.
Mm-hmm. Yes. He looks like a BG. Red shirt, security guard, nuclear person. He looks like a BG.
Red shirt, so he's going to die.
Well, I can't remember if he dies or not. So basically...
Oh, there's a special danger compartment that's opened up,
Yeah,
and it's flashing danger, danger.
and it's the nuclear reactor. So
And I keep doing this, and I know you guys can't see the actions that I make. I'm busy making like a pulse action with my hand because, I forget that it's podcast radio
podcast radio, yes.
and nobody can see us. And I'm glad you can't see us because nobody wants to see this. But yeah, the
So-
hand action.
So Simmonds is basically saying he's going to fuck up the nuclear reactor unless he gets to go on the spaceship. So he's like a 3-year-old toddler. He's had the ice cream taken off him.
He spat his dummy right out of that pram.
Dummy has gone across the road. It's bouncing across the road now. And he's saying that because I want to go home and I'm going to make sure that I go home. So what they're doing, pulling out rods here, fuel rods, something like that.
But didn't everyone else want him to go as well? Because nobody
Yeah,
likes
exactly.
him.
This
So-
is the thing I don't get. If he actually just asked really nicely, they probably would have gone, bye.
Yeah,
Yeah,
bye.
bye.
See ya.
Take your hair with you. Yeah.
Bell bottoms.
But now he's been a knob. See on Game of Thrones in 40 years' time.
What is he on Game of Thrones?
He's the pyromancer. Makes all the, the green stuff that gets set on fire in the ships.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was meant to be.
When the sea goes grey.
He was meant to be Pycelle, but he wasn't well enough. He was
Right.
cast as Pycelle, the one with the big beard, the Meister.
Yeah.
But he wasn't. He fell ill, so he wasn't able to do it. So Julian Glover took over, and Julian Glover's in this. Yeah.
Isn't it like the dragon something that they set on fire?
The green stuff.
Yeah.
Can't remember what it's called. But it's meant to be Greek fire, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tyrion sorted that out, didn't he?
Yes. So he was the dude who did it.
Right.
But Julian Glover's in this, and he plays a baby.
And Julian Glover was the Meister.
Yes. Yeah. I like it how you didn't even react to that. That Julian Glover, a grown man, played a baby.
I mean, anything goes. Nothing surprises me with this show.
So Simmonds is all cock-a-hoot now because he's got his way. So he's going to get his own way. He's like, there you go. Being a knob works, and being a knob gets you first place and all this
Well, it
sort of
obviously
stuff.
got him to be commissioner. Is he commissioner?
Yes, he
Yeah.
is. Commissioner Simmonds, yes. So John's trying to outfox him, but it's not going to work because Simmonds is too crafty.
So, obviously, Simmonds doesn't go off with them.
With who?
The Christopher Lee people.
Oh, do you know?
Well, I'm assuming he's in the rest of the series.
Simmonds?
Yeah.
No.
Well, so he does go off with them.
You have to watch it.
All right, I'm watching.
We've only got 10 minutes left. In fact, you probably don't even have that.
By the time the credits and everything.
Yeah. We need to see what if Basil got the makeup job again this episode.
Oh, yeah.
So what they need to do now is to talk this through with Christopher Lee. So of all the sort of horrible things that happened to Christopher Lee, they've got to ask what they would do in this situation. And would they take Nobby Simmonds with them, or should they sort of, kill Simmonds or something like that?
I don't think they should kill anybody.
Mm.
I think that's a bad example to set.
Mm-hmm. They're actually being really nice about this. If this was like some other type of TV program, they'd be like barricading Simmonds in and take the oxygen out the room, or disable his comm lock, which would have been the really obvious thing to do.
It's all very civilized, isn't it?
Plus, if he blows up the nuclear reactor, he blows himself up, and we know he's far too selfish for that.
Yeah, I mean that's never going to happen, is it?
Nah. So, Calidor's really nice about it, and he goes, "Well, he's a bit of a knob, and you can't help him being a bit of a knob, and there's no cure for being a bit of a knob, so fine."
Well, going back to Game of Thrones, there's no cure.
For being a something. Yes. Yes. We'll not use that word.
No, we'll
We've
not.
used every other one, but
We'll
we'll
not use that one.
No. We'll keep that okay. So he's been lovely. So he's such a nice character in this. He could have been the most evil man in the universe.
Which he often is.
Now, in a future episode in season 1, they do the opposite. They take somebody who's typecast as a really nice person and they make him a complete shit.
But like Nick Berry or
So
something.
Nick Berry? How can you pick Nick Berry? Where does Nick Berry fit into all this?
Heartbeat.
Well, he was a lovely Yorkshire policeman, but now he's the most evil man in the universe. I'm not quite sure how you get from... Oh, dearie me. God. Your time references are all over the shop, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
But yes, you get the idea.
I do.
So I think this is really clever, the way that they sort of did this, and they didn't say... Because he could have been a monster,
Mhm.
and you'd have gone, oh, it's Christopher Lee being a monster.
And you'd have
Seen,
seen that before.
Yeah, done it, and all that sort of stuff. It's just another gig. But because he was so lovely, then, yeah. So here's Simmonds. He's going to get his own way. We hate him. That's a great line, that.
Commissioner is
Diseased.
diseased.
It's a cracking line, that.
Diseased in the head.
Yeah.
With selfishness and what?
And the other thing is that if he did make it back to Earth in 75 years' time, nobody would know who he was. Nobody would give a shit.
No.
Yeah.
Nobody will care. And Earth will look very different in 75 years.
They might be all living in mud huts anyway, because the ecological disaster. I know.
He's just had quite a moment with Helena
I know.
there.
I bet he wished he could have gone with her. I mean, he'd have split her in half, but I mean, he wished he'd gone home with her. Gutter.
Mind out of it.
Here's Space Bong back again.
It almost looks like it could have come to life, like a character in
Yeah,
Wall-E
it's got
or
little
something.
legs, hasn't it?
Yeah.
War of the Worlds type thing. Right, off you go then.
Like the kiddies' version of War of the Worlds, or the
Yeah.
friendly war.
I bet this was a popular toy, that little spaceship.
Yeah.
You can imagine it, couldn't you?
Did
Because
they
they
do
did, yes, they did all die cast and all toys of
and
this.
stuff?
There's a whole raft of toys and games and all sorts of things they did for this.
I guess there's no reason kids couldn't watch this. There's nothing in it that would be
It
unsuitable.
was basically aimed, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So he's that much of a knob, Simmonds. He's making sure that they go to sleep first before he goes to sleep.
But how does he know what to do?
Well,
He wasn't there when they did the tests.
I'm assuming it's on autopilot, isn't it? Yeah, they're all asleep.
Oh yeah, bye. Nobody likes you.
Sleep well. Sleep well, Simmonds. Good night. He's still a bit sus, isn't he?
Yeah, he doesn't trust any of it.
Yeah.
So the middle bit, it's a lot like the TARDIS shape-wise inside, with like the centre bit.
Yeah. And of course the spaceship's a circle, so just for once it actually makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Bye-bye, Simmonds. The spaceship's blasted off now.
Yeah.
Off to Earth. Off to Earth to get the strings renewed.
There's Audrey.
Audrey. Oh, well, never mind. They still have each other.
Yeah,
And Barry the gooseberry.
They're all together.
That was Helena and John giving themselves a little look. So we now have epilogue time.
Oh.
Epilogue time. So there's the space bong. It's going off into outer space, funnily enough, isn't it? Yes. And here we are. We're back on the spaceship in all the sleepy chamber things.
And Simmonds is there.
Mm-hmm. Having a sleep. He's dreaming of being president of the universe.
Oh, he's walking off.
Oh. I think I'm going to keep my gob shut for the next minute. Let you describe it.
Right, he's walking up inside of his incubator. He's looking at his hands.
How many's he got?
2.
Always a good
He's
start.
feeling his face. Am I still here? Have I still got hair? And everyone else, he's looking around and seeing that they're still asleep. And that it's dark.
Hello, Earth. Hello, Earth. This is Commissioner Simmonds, returning home after 75 years.
He's talking into his comm, saying hello Earth, but actually the moon base are picking him up.
So how's that a thing?
Well, because it's been 10 minutes or something.
We've got news for him.
So he's obviously woken up very, very quickly after going to sleep. And now he's saying, hello Earth, hello Earth. And he's saying that it's Commissioner Simmonds returning home after 75 years, as if everybody will know who he is.
So Victor's telling him why it didn't work, because They only took a copy of Helena's sort of patterns.
Right.
They needed to take a picture of his patterns or do the tests or whatever's. So that's why the time was important, because he's now looked and it's only like 3 hours later or something like that. So what's happening now?
He's panicking because he's realised it's only been a few hours. And now he's shouting for the commander to help him because it hasn't worked. Commander's shaking his head, nothing we can do. He's frantic. He's absolutely frantic, shouting for Christopher Lee to help him and banging on the sides of his incubator. But nobody can help him, everyone's asleep. Oh dear. He's going absolutely bananas. This is not going to help. Calm down, Mitch. Oh dear. There is nobody to help him and he's just going to have to lie there for 75 years.
And there's one final conversation.
Uh-huh.
See, I'm good with spoilers, aren't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, one final conversation.
So it was rigged for Helena, not for him.
The brain thing, the sleepy thing, yeah. Here we go.
Who did the computer finally choose? Simmonds.
So the computer chose him anyway.
Yeah, uh-huh.
So is that his story? Is he...
Dead? Yeah.
He's stuck on that until he dies?
Well, I think he died. I think he died there and then because he sort of like collapsed. So
But do you think he had a heart attack and panic?
Either that or there was only so much oxygen. But because it was a sealed box, he'd used up all his oxygen.
And he was panicking so much that would use up the oxygen faster.
Yeah. Gladys is still doing the continuity. Makeup, oh, Anne's on makeup.
And
Anne's
cotton.
on makeup.
And cotton.
Uh-huh.
I have to hats off to wardrobe though for Christopher Lee.
Yeah, it was superb that. Yes. So anyway, so now the episode's finished. Yeah. So basically he would have gone anyway, and he would have gone properly with all these brain things in, and he'd have been asleep for 75 years. So he got his own way if he'd have just rattled his neck in.
Yeah.
And because the computer picked him, but he didn't know that, he took things into his own hands and he was all Billy Big Balls and was a knob.
But he could have had everything calibrated to him if he behaved himself, and he would have gone to sleep until he'd gotten to Earth. I mean, who knows what he would have found when he got to Earth. But at least he would have got there. But by being an absolute arse, he has just signed his own death sentence.
Yeah, so he was, because Christopher Lee was so nice about it. You know, he sort of, that's another stuff. I think it was a very moral episode.
Yeah.
It's don't be a knob and be a nice person.
Yeah.
And if you're in a spaceship and your mate gets fried, be nice about it. That's sort of like today's moral, isn't it? You know, about that. So to sort of like, to explain, so although I like complicated stories and I like really sort of involved plot lines and stuff that's dead clever and what have you, season 1 for me works best when it's simple. So we had the black hole episode where you were sort of saying what the fuck for most of it. And we had the dead Helena antimatter planet one, Helena's husband. And it was like, I don't get it. And then the rings around the moon, I still don't get. You know, and I've watched it about 4 times. Whereas that one was dead straightforward, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Space hippies come, be dead nice. There's a knob.
I like the space hippies.
Yeah, they're really good characters. And there's a few more like that. They're relatively straightforward stories. And I think, for me personally, I think it works best for that. But
so what was the MacGuffin in that episode?
Well, there wasn't one. This is what I mean. They didn't have to make anything up. Everything made perfect sense. And it was a relatively straightforward story. There was no B plot. There was no, like, as you say, MacGuffin.
A B plot?
B plot, yeah. That's where you have, like, 2 stories going concurrently. So that sort of thing. So Star Wars is a great example. Because when you watch Star Wars, there's always 2 stories going on.
Yeah.
Like, they're on Endor, but they're also on the Death Star and that sort of thing. So There was none of that. And I think it works best. Plus, you've only got 45, 50 minutes to tell a story. And
It's not long.
It's not long. And if you're trying to do grandiose, big ideas. And the other thing is that when these programs were being made, half the country had black and white tellies. And they were relatively small as well.
I have a question then.
So you've got all this detail, and you can't get it across on some of these things.
So why was orange such a prevalent factor if half of the country had black and white TVs?
Well, you always make things as well as possible, and then sort of water it down. But it may have looked good in black and white. That's a real possibility. But I think that the sort of prism we watch this in now is nothing like if we were doing this podcast when it came out. Can you imagine that, a 1970s podcast?
Doing a podcast.
It'd be all crackle, wouldn't it? It'd be like static and crackle and stuff. Then we have a slightly different opinion on it. And that's where the storytelling really comes through, because if you tell a good story, it doesn't really matter about, yes, it was cool what they were wearing and the glass Pyrex stuff and all that things. But it was a really good story about morals and about being nice and stuff like that. And even the very first sort of big major scene, they were suspicious, weren't they? They had the lasers, and they were worried about who was going to come out of the spaceship.
But you would be though, wouldn't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it just it goes to show. Now there's a couple of episodes where they twist it and they go the other way, but it's quite a nice way of telling a story. So your rating, we need your rating. So you've done 2 7s, a 5, and a 6 so far.
I would like to say one thing.
Yes. Uh-huh.
If we, as you suggested, had made this podcast in the 1970s, would you have used the term love egg?
You mean you've delayed your decision on a rating for that?
Yes.
Oh dear. Was Anne Summers in the 70s? I think she was more 80s, wasn't she?
I don't know what
Jackie
she
Gold
was.
and all that sort of stuff. I don't know. But we definitely would be using slightly different terminology than we're using now.
We would.
Definitely.
So my rating, I'm going to give that... I'm going to give it an 8.
Yay!
Because I liked it more than the first one. And I gave the first one a 7. So therefore I have to give it an 8, really, don't I?
Mm-hmm.
Because I really liked the simplicity of the story, like you said. You didn't have... I mean, I can't even remember Commander Kusos's name. Never mind. Corn-egg. Never mind anything else. I need to think. It's a corn and it's an egg.
It's a cone and an egg. Right. Good. So my question isn't really a question this episode. It's more of a sort of statement. We're going to talk about the colours. So you don't
Orange,
know. So
yellow.
You're not going to look at the screen because it's easy for me to read it off the screen.
Right.
So
I'm not going to look at... I'm going to look...
You can look at me. You can look at something else.
I'm looking at you.
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to read out the colours and see if you can guess what they are.
All right.
Right. Okay. So first colour is black.
Boss.
Yes. So black was cone egg. And you also got a black collar, so you'll have to look out for the black collar as well.
Okay.
Yes. Next one is, they're calling it flame.
Oh, the orange.
Flame. It's more. I think it's more reddy than orange, like what Paul was wearing.
Paul, your brother.
Paul with a moustache. Oh, this is podcast gold. This isn't it? No, flame, reddy colour.
Pilot.
So that was main mission.
Main mission.
Okay, and then they're calling it rust.
Orange.
Rust, the sort of
So I think they are...
No, it's not orange. Orange comes later. So rust, brownie colour. You remember who was brown?
Wilcox.
Who? Who's Wilcox? Oh my god.
The one.
Wilcox.
Oh. He was looking really worried when they were giving the love eggs out.
So anyway, Rust is the technical staff. So Computer Carno is Rust. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then yellow. So Sandra's yellow.
She's sort of like admin-y tech.
Yeah. So they're calling it service.
Right.
So yes, that's exactly right. So orange, proper orange,
is sort of Astro Command.
So they're calling it reconnaissance. So it's things like pilots.
Right.
Is the orange.
That could be Astro Command.
Okay, yeah. Then we've got white.
White is doctors.
Yay! You win. And purple.
Oh, I don't think I've seen
Yes,
purple.
saw purple in Breakaway.
Oh,
In the scene where they have a big
purple.
fight and the one with the purple sleeve gets knocked over.
Security.
That's the one, yes. And none at all.
Oh, that was the commissioner.
Yes, so the Commissioner and Victor didn't have a colour.
Mm-hmm.
So it's either special ops or,
Knobheads.
No, Victor's not a knobhead.
Okay.
Birdman's not a knobhead. So they are the things. And they also had other sections. They had a mining section, a radioactive monitoring section,
Mm-hmm.
which obviously did really well in the first episode, didn't it? A records unit section, a rescue section, a science section, and a surface exploration section.
And did they all have different colours?
Well, I'm not sure really, but it just shows why they needed 300 people, doesn't it?
Can I look at the screen yet?
Yeah, of course you can.
Yeah.
Look, there's your friend Simmonds.
Oh, so what's this? Is it Bergman?
Victor Bergman with the really good sideboards.
I think he's who I mean, so it's not Wilcox.
No, there isn't
No.
a Wilcox. Well, I
There's
don't
no-
think there was.
There's
Is
no
one.
Wilcox.
I'll have to search catacombs later for a Wilcox, yeah.
Which I'm not going to go on because it defeats
Yeah,
the point.
so I'll show you Rust. So for the benefit of the
I
tape,
see.
there's Rust. So I'm showing Katie a sort of browny, orangey colour, aren't I?
Yeah, you are, and it's completely different to
Mhm.
the orange.
Yes. So we're not going to see any more of that because you might get some spoilers. So
Okay.
we're not doing spoilers.
You are quite often a walking spoiler.
Yes, which is why I've done really, really well.
You have done well, actually,
So-
with this. I'm quite proud of you.
So the next episode is Another Time, Another Place.
Right.
So either Jerry or
Jerry
Anderson, the guy who created this
I
Thunderbirds,
see.
everything
Okay,
like that.
yeah.
Either him or his writers were obsessed with the what ifs. So like Marvel do what if, and
Mhm.
what if somebody died, or what if they'd gone to a different universe. There's loads of episodes, not only in this but in other things that he does, where it's a what if. What if this had happened? And this is another one. So how Helena's episode with a dead husband was a bit of a what if, wasn't it? What
Yes,
if,
it was.
all that sort of thing.
What if he'd survived properly and he was with her? And, yeah.
So that's that sort of thing as well. So that's what the next episode is. So so thank you very much for everybody who's listened.
Yes, very much look forward to the next one.
And I won't be as giddy in this one.
Oh, you be as giddy as you like.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.